God bless the great state of Louisiana.
For more on legislative issues facing farmers, we go back to Mike Danna.
That's right, Avery. Thanks very much. We are visiting with Representative Andy Anders of Vidalia, and Representative Anders is the chairman of the House Agriculture Committee, and he joins us today, the opening day of the regular Louisiana legislative session, to talk about some issues facing agriculture. And Representative Anders, I guess the first question I'm going to ask you about is funding for boll weevil eradication. We saw earlier on our program Commissioner Mike Strain talking about a shortfall in that program. The boll weevil is still out there and is still a threat.
Correct. And Mike has spoken with me, and we're addressing that issue. I think we're 2 to 4 million or so short in that funding, and I live on a cotton farm back home for sure, and it's very important to finish the job that we've already started. And I think that we are very aware that, you know, Mike inherited this and he's dealing with it, and we can go ahead and eradicate the boll weevil, I'm sure. So.
And I know in your area, a lot of farmers right now are concerned about, as we've told you many times on our program before, the issue of the closings of rail crossings in rural portions of Louisiana are causing quite a bit of headache for farmers who are moving equipment back and forth. And of course, this is the time when they're doing it. I know there's a bill in the Senate that may address some of this, but how do you feel about this situation with these rail closures, Andy?
That's something that transportation and the transport of this big equipment, and now we've gone to 12-row and whatever else, and I work with a John Deere dealership that I have to move quite a bit of equipment. It's very important to get through rural areas and to make it as safe for our constituency to get down the road too. So I'm very much in favor of making sure these right-of-ways or whatever are open, and I think Senator Reiser has a bill, and I guess Representative Little has other bills that will address this, and I think we'll make it a safe place in Louisiana to move agriculture equipment.
I know in your area has been a traditional cotton growing area, but as we've seen over the last at least 2 growing seasons in Louisiana, grain is making a tremendous inroad into what was formerly cotton land. And of course, we've seen skyrocketing grain prices. And as we saw earlier in our program, the issue of how grain is priced and these heads to arrive and margin calls, there's a bill out there right now that will kind of ease some of the, I guess, the margin calls in terms of how grain is priced. And it's kind of a different structure. Tell me about that.
Exactly, which the bill that I have introduced or whatever makes it a binding contract with an oral agreement between a farmer and a grain company. And it's very important because the Board of Trade moves so fast, and these guys that react to them or whatever, and that gives them the opportunity to make these margin calls and make the right thing and to make better for the state of Louisiana to trade grain for sure.
And I know as a farmer, a lot of equipment moving out there in the Vidalia and central Louisiana area right now. Andy, what are you hearing from producers? Prices are high, but what are you hearing from producers now as far as how they feel about getting this 08 crop in right now?
Where everybody is optimistic. This is the first year, I guess, everything is up. Cotton it soared in the last 2 weeks, but you know, the diversified deal of cotton to corn or corn to cotton or whatever is shown through what we know to raise the yields of both. So I think when I left home, we had 3/10 of an inch of rain or whatever, and the corn was mostly planted, and that was what you call icing on the cake. So hopefully the weather will continue and we'll have a success here.
Let's hope that is, in fact, the beginning of what will turn out to be a very good crop year for everyone concerned. Well, Andy, a pleasure to have you on the program.
Thank you, Michael. Representative
Andy Anders. He is from Vidalia, and he is the chair of the House Agriculture Committee. We will have a lot more on This Week in Louisiana Agriculture, including the skeet shoot in West Baton Rouge. Melanie Ohms travels to Port Allen to give us some insight into why this fundraiser was right on target. Stay with us.